It has to be understood in international terms there are two types of sanctions. First, ever since World War II, it has been agreed that the primary body for maintaining world peace is the United Nations Security Council. Therefore, the United Nations Security Council can, and sometimes does, agree on economic sanctions against a country. That's the case, for example, with the present sanctions against North Korea. What the United States is trying to carry out now is something completely different. That is, the United States is attempting to impose its own sanctions when the rest of the world doesn't agree with it. Not merely is there no resolution of the United Nations Security Council, but the other four members with permanent veto, that is China, Russia, France and Britain, have made absolutely clear that they don't agree. So this is therefore the United States acting outside of international law. He's either trying to force a change in Iran's foreign policy or he's trying to overthrow the regime in Iran. And in order to do this, he's prepared to attack not merely the economy of Iran, but he's prepared to attack the economy of Europe and other countries which are doing business with Iran. So this is just unilateral behaviour, with the United States acting outside the framework of international law and attempting to make threats to all sorts of people. It's the rule of a bully. If you're big and strong and powerful, then you can threaten people. And if you're a weak country, then you can be threatened. This is not the way that the international order should be conducted, or incidentally will be conducted. The reason that it can be done is, one, because of the power of the United States, its economic and military power, and secondly, because of the role of the dollar within the world monetary system. It is still the case that the dollar is the main international means of payment. And therefore, if you can be excluded from doing transactions in dollars, which is what the US can try to do, therefore you can attempt to do serious damage to your economy. The United States has lost its great positions in the world from the point of view of respect. The last international opinion poll was carried out by Pew Research, for the first time showed that more people approved of the international policies of China than approved of the policies of the United States. This is the first time that this has ever happened. After the Second World War, the United States was seen, rightly or wrongly, as having defeated fascism in Germany and Japan, or played a great role in defeating fascism in these countries. It created an international trading system. It was the main force behind globalization, and therefore a lot of countries supported it for those reasons. And it had genuine popular support, there's no doubt about it. Now, for the first time, you're having a situation in which the United States no longer has such respect, and therefore it's accumulating enemies. The Iranian people know what the type of regimes by the United States have been done. We can go back even earlier, in the 1950s, of course. The United States overthrew the Mossadegh regime, which was a democratically elected Iranian government. So there are decades of hostility of the United States to Iran and interference in Iran's internal affairs, and I don't think that the people of Iran, whatever criticisms they may have of the regime or whatever the problems created by sanctions, they're not going to accept a government which is imposed by the United States. So I believe that the US policy of a regime change simply won't work.